All right, here we go, Henry.
Yeah.
Man, we're starting to get a good roll here on this podcast. We got
Yeah.
lots of guests and plans for the future, so it's good.
Yeah. We're rolling right now.
Provincials was hot. Single A to quad A, that was pretty cool.
You know,
Basketball's alive.
I said like during that time last week, I was talking to my brother yesterday. I said, you have to live in the moment. Watching provincials and being a part of it are two different things. And last week, I was extremely grateful to be a part of an atmosphere like no other. Like BC was resurrected in basketball at the 3A and 4A finals. And speaking of one of the finals players, I want to give a shout out to this guy. I think he's a Showtime standout, and he was a part of the second place team, which I think can be a great player coming into his grade 12 year. We got Jaiden Shergill.
Welcome to the show.
Okay, perfect. Thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Sorry about that.
Nah, you
No,
good. You good.
it's all good, Jane. It's just a conversation, man. So tell me, I know you from the LA Matheson, the squad. Like, tell me about you. Where are you from? Like, where did you grow up?
So I grew up in Surrey, British Columbia. I went to Kirkbride Elementary School, and I've been at Matheson Secondary School for the last 4 years now. And yeah, that's where my story really starts.
What is
Right
the
on.
very first memory you have picking up a basketball?
I started basketball really late. I think I started in like grade 5 or like, but I didn't really play. Just like when you in PE class you shoot around and stuff. I started taking basketball really serious in like grade 7. And yeah, it's like I joined a YMCA league and then I started playing like, club. But then when I got to grade 8, that's when I really had to like, dial into it. Started having to, come in the morning, shoot, get reps up. So I'm happy I started working out young. And yeah, it was good.
When you like, do you have any older brothers or sisters that were involved in basketball to get you into it, or you just decided you wanted to play?
No, I've always been the youngest. My inspiration is really just like watching YouTube highlights and then start seeing like these basketball guys, and then that's what got me into everything.
So before basketball, were you involved in any other sports, or even in
Yeah,
high school? Did you play any other sports?
yeah. I got my black belt, so I used to do martial arts. Yeah, so I
Oh,
used
really?
to do martial arts and taekwondo. Um, just play soccer here and there. In school I played everything. Got volleyball done. Played soccer. Played basketball. So cross country I ran. Track I did track. I did everything I could.
And then, so the getting to LA Matheson and playing basketball there, did you always play at your grade? Like grade 18, you played on the grade eights, grade 9, you played on the grade nines?
So it was a funny story. So coming to grade 7, I joined this summer school transition thing. It's called Camp Next, and what's it called? You play. It's like a soccer camp, right? And you just go play, have fun. And during that time, when I was going to grade 8, so it was the summer of grade 8, I one of my older, not really friends, but acquaintances at the time, I knew of him, Justin. He's like one of my big brothers now, like best friends. And what's it called? He introduced me to the junior team at the time. So he was grade 9 playing with the grade 9, 10 team, and I was going into grade 8. And he's the one who really just, brought me into the squad. He's like, you shouldn't be doing this. Like he's the one who told the coach, oh, like, let this guy practice with us. And yeah, that's really, really, really started. Like that's where my basketball journey really, like went up because I was forced to put myself in positions I'm not comfortable being in. And yeah, so I was really, like underdog at practices. I was a grade 8, so I had to go match up against older guys.
So you had to keep pushing
Yes.
yourself. So
Yeah.
when did you realize that this group of players that you're playing with right now, whether it was in grade 10 or grade 9 or whatever, had a chance to get as far as you guys did this year?
So honestly, this was a group that we struggled last year. Um, I'm blessed that since I was grade 8, being a part of this junior team, I didn't really see the floor that much. I don't remember myself playing in many games, but I'm blessed enough that 2 years later, I was a starter as a grade 10 on the senior team. And I had some of my best moments on that senior team. I ended up having 40 in Salish. And yeah, like I've had like a lot of like good games in my opinion, but we got heartbroken last year. We didn't make provincials. We choked in South Frasers, and like we had a chip on our shoulder this year that we had to do something for our seniors because those seniors never saw provincials. And we all went into this year thinking like we're not just doing it for ourselves, we're doing it for the badge on the front of their jersey, and we're doing it for the people that never did it before. So yeah, that was a big like motivation factor for us.
Man,
Yeah, you had a
I've
pretty
seen so
good
much like
leadership group this year.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of brotherhood when you guys play. I watched your guys' final against the RCMP against
Mhm.
Tamian. Like that was crazy. So if you can describe your team's identity as a whole in just like 3 words, what would it be?
Brotherhood, like that's a big emphasis on our school nature. We're just brothers, like we're not like beefing each other. We're not like, talking like shit behind each other's backs. Like if we have something to say, we say it to each other's faces and we get it over with.
Yeah.
Leadership is a big one. Like everyone's a leader. I don't know much other teams that have 5 guys that could, we had, there's a funny stat. We had 7 guys this season be the leading scorer in multiple games. That's the craziest thing. So 7 different guys are the leading scorers. So it's a really good blessing that 7 guys can go out there, put points up. So I think brotherhood's the best way to describe our team. We're the brotherhood. And honestly, transition and just scoring the ball. Like we never really had to worry about scoring the ball, but it was just mostly just sitting in defense. And like, to be honest with you, at the start of the year, we didn't think much about. I think defense, we played it really good when we're playing good teams, and when we played bad teams, we just really like, stooped down to their level. I remember playing VC, Tammy, RCMP semifinals against Fleetwood, South Fraser finals against Andrew Creek. We played some of the best defense we've ever played because we just sat in the stands. PR in the second round of RCMP, they ended up beating us. They have a really good young squad led by one of my boys, Dodge. Like shout out to them. They did really good too. And yeah, so they beat us at the start of the season in Tammy tournament, and we took that personal because we're supposed to be a team that's projected to go start of the season. We're projected to go top 2 in BC, or otherwise it'd be embarrassment. It'll be upset of the season. So we really took that a chip on our shoulder, and we just sat in the stands. Like we had to sit in defense. So I feel like yeah, like brotherhood's like the best way to describe our team nature.
You say y'all have a bond for
I like
life.
that.
So after high school, y'all would still be connected. I love that.
Yeah, it was a funny thing. As much as we're heartbroken that we lost provincials, if I'm being honest, I didn't even care that we lost. Shout out to St. Pat's. They have a really good team coached by Nap. But it wasn't even that we lost provincials. It was that we're never going to be able to play together again. And that was like the most upsetting part of the whole thing. But I'm blessed that, we got to see the last day of the school season. Not many teams could, like no one can really say that they got to go to the real end of, high school basketball season and got to play their last games. And it's true that all good things have to come to an end. Otherwise, we wouldn't like enjoy them as much. So I'm really blessed that I got to see like these 4 years out with these guys because it was one of the best experiences I could ever ask for.
Do y'all have like, is there an unwritten rule in your guys' locker room that everyone has to follow?
Um, Let me think. I mean, we had one for the last 3 weeks of the season. No social media. So we deleted social
Yeah.
media for 3 weeks, and yeah, we were off social media, and we all came to the consensus that we need to just dial in for the last 3 weeks of the season. And one practice, we are just sitting down, debriefing practice, and I can't. It was a funny story. Like, coaches Tyler, like best coach I've probably ever had. He's the man. Like Tyler Ram, shout out to him. He says, what more can we do to dial it in? And I said, let's delete social media if we're really down to dial into the season and give it all that we have. And surprisingly, everyone agreed with it. They're like, yo, I could do that. And surely we all just that practice deleted social media and we stayed off of it for 3 weeks. And yeah, we won RCMP, won South Frasers, and came second in BC during that time. So yeah, I feel like social media part was like unwritten rule.
That's actually not a bad idea, Tom. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, we could try. We could try, but I don't know.
I mean, it makes a difference because you got to think about it, right? It takes so much of your time. I don't know if this rule was this year or last year where they took it out of schools. Now, if you think about it in practice, you're more engaged and you understand things more. And those players that don't understand concepts in practice, if they delete social media for even 3 days, they'll know the exact sets and they'll probably know some reads and counter moves out of it. So
It just deleted every distraction. Like we didn't need to be
it's,
seeing what other teams are doing. We had to worry about ourselves. So that was the
I like
biggest thing.
that. I wish we used that this year, but I'm gonna keep that for next year though.
Yeah, it's
What do
good,
you,
man. Like,
It's the hunter hunted mentality, right? You guys are
yeah,
going to be ones that are hunted. You're not out there trying to prove a point to anyone else. You're
yeah.
out there. You
I
guys are locked in, ready to go. People need to worry about LA Matheson.
I like how you use that phrase being hunted. So we actually said the same thing the week before provincials. We sat down with at BC Prep with the owners of BC Prep and athlete. His name is Surinder. Great guy. Like he took us in and really sat us down for practice. And he told us that like, yo, you guys are not the underdogs anymore. Like you guys are being hunted, and you guys need to flip the script. So that we knew we were the second seeded team in provincials, but we flipped the switch and said that we were hunting everyone else. So we weren't like like we weren't first, so we had to get to St. Pat's. But how do we get to St. Pat's? We have to get everyone else out of the way before we get to St. Pat's. And even though we lost to St. Pat's, I'm happy that we got the opportunity to play them because we didn't see them all season. And yeah, like it sucks that we got into foul trouble early and everything, but we matched up well first half. We are down 10, I think, and then we just didn't have our full team on the court, and we let it slip away. And as much
Those
as it
refs are
sucks,
calling everything.
Yeah.
yeah, it's tragic. I really don't want to just blame the refs because we could have done more to stay in control. We shouldn't have, if the refs are calling it some type of way, we should have, understood it from the start. But yeah, it was pretty funny because I don't want to stir anything up, but yeah, those refs they didn't really let us like play. So as much as we wanted to play in a provincial final, but you can't really blame the refs. We put it on ourselves at the end of the day. So you know what, it is what it is.
What do you do in the 15 minutes before tip off to like get your mind right for a game? I need to focus. For example, y'all use that social media, but now 15 minutes going to a game. What is your really go to?
Um, Well, I do a lot of things. So sometimes I stretch. So during provincials, we had a physio come in. So I would just get my body warm. I have my AirPods in. And then the other times we have a big speaker and we're just blasting music and everyone just like vibing out. If I could pull it up from a memory the day of provincials, it was cool. We were all just vibing. We're just listening to music and it was a good experience. Here, let me see. Like yeah, everyone just listening to music. Yeah, it was cool.
We had Damon. We had Damon on the show, and he was telling us that he sings a lot. Is this true?
Yo, I think Damien's in this is singing.
Hey, I need that video. That's funny.
And yeah, it's all the boys just dancing and stuff. It's a good vibes. Like it's never bad vibes with these guys. That's what made it a brotherhood, like
Yeah,
I could be trying to lock in and just, like not say anything, but these guys just start making me laugh and that just takes my mind off the game. Like think about it. We're
yeah.
doing that in the semifinal, quarterfinal, and finals of provincials. We're just all just, like everyone has a role. Like even the bench guys, like it's so fun with them. Like it was a great memory. So yeah.
I just want to say this real quick before
Well, that's
Tom asks
excellent.
his question. I've never been to that stage. Unfortunately, we didn't get to it this year, but hopefully next year. What is the atmosphere like when you're playing in the Arena Bowl when everyone's eyes are glued on you? I can only imagine it's pressure. Like you even taking a layup, you could probably airball because people are in the front row shouting at you with all their frying pans and stuff. So what is it really like?
To be honest with you, like everything just cuts out. It's literally like that St. Pat's game. As much as St. Pat's crowd was loud, I couldn't hear anything. Everything just dials out, and all the loud noises just go away, and it's you and your team. And to be honest with you, like when people say they're nervous for things, like that whole day, that whole week of provincials, I couldn't really say I'm nervous. I could say I'm nervous a little bit because, that just shows you care. To me, like being nervous is a privilege, and because you're going up for something great. And like if I'm going out with my boys, like if we're all doing it together, I'm just happy to, go out with them. If I was playing a single sport like tennis or like sparring in Taekwondo, I would be really scared going into it because I'm like, yo, like anything could happen. But as long as I know I have my boys with me, it was a blessing. And I'm really blessed that we got to the finals and we got to experience that. The walkouts was so cool. Like all the boys, the brotherhood, just arms wrapped around each other. We're just a bunch of brown kids from inner city school. We're the smallest school in Surrey. And yeah, it's really something special. I'm happy everyone stayed together and everyone thugged it through.
That noise level, it's like when I'm coaching and some of the people after the game say, "Oh, did you hear that parent yelling in the crowd, or did you hear this?" I'm like, "No, I'm so focused on the game. I'm not even
Yeah,
paying attention to the
you
crowd."
you really, to be honest with you, I don't remember anything from provincials. Like I don't remember. You just forget that because a lot of things happen, and it's just a
Well,
blessing to
yeah,
be going.
it was Tuesday to Saturday, but you're right. It went by quick. It went by
Yeah.
quick. So now that you've gone through this and you are, you're losing some of the your grade 12s that got you to where you're going. What's going to drive you to get up and get those shots up when nobody's watching? Who are you going to bring in to do what you did this year, next year?
Honestly, just work as hard as I can. Like I don't need to really worry about anyone else. I just need to worry about if I could be a better leader. Get my reps up, get my shots up. Because ultimately, my goal is to get a scholarship to go play youth sport basketball, or even higher than that. And I'm just gonna keep striving for excellence. I'm blessed that we got to see it through this year, my grade 11 year, and just work as hard as I can to get to that same spot. And yeah, like there's really nothing much to say about that. Just work as hard as I can. I still have something to prove. We didn't win or anything. Sure, we made it to there, but winning is a different thing. If I could win, then I could, say I got it done.
So if an opponent is in the game of basketball, anything can happen. I always say I'm starting to learn whilst I'm in my first year of coaching, you need to know every spot on the floor. And with every spot on the floor, you got to have moves. So if an opponent's taking away your primary move, your go-to move, maybe you have how AI had his crossover, nobody could take it away from him. They're taking away your scoring move. What's your plan B? Like, what's your counter move?
Honestly, we just had a lot of drive kick swing. We didn't have that much ISO this year. And then honestly, can't even tell you. Just a read. If someone's playing my hip, I just go look to go. If they're playing me short, just shoot it. If I have nothing, swing it to the next guy. He'll go drive kick swing. Someone's always gonna be open on drive kick swing because we have the blessing of having 5 guys that can score the ball. One guy catches the ball wide open, closeout happens, swing the one more. Trust that guy to shoot the ball and make it. And yeah, that's how. Shout out to my bro Jaiden Shergill. RCMP we're down by 2 to Tammy, and we didn't have anything. We just kept swinging around, drove it in, swung it back out to Justin. Justin swung it to Joven. Joven hits a 3. We're up by 1, and it's just trusting each other. It's a big thing.
So that wasn't a drawn out play. That just happened in your motion in your offense.
It wasn't drawn out. The play was supposed to be drawn out for me because we are running flare action. But they're sitting in their false 2-3 zone. It's a 2-3 into a 1-3-1. And their big had to run baseline to baseline, and their big ended up coming to my side. So we swung it back out. Justin got it overhead past it, and Joven hit the shot, and the rest is history.
I mean, that shows you right there that, Tom tells me all the time and I'm learning. I'd be so mad sometimes. I'm like, man, why aren't these guys going through the plays? Because when you go through the motions, maybe that exact play won't be there, but something's going to happen. Because when you go through the motions, screens are being set, guys are coming off flares, someone's going to be open.
100%.
Somebody's going to fall for it, double, and somebody's going to be open, whether it's on a block or in the corner. So brings me to my next. Is there ever been a time where I don't like the way I worded this question, so I want to change it. Maybe you haven't achieved or got to an approach in basketball, like you fell short of something that you think you should have got to, that gave you that little chip on your shoulder. You got to work
100%.
at it.
Last year, prime example. I was grade 10. And God bless, I had 10 threes in a South Fraser game against Richmond. I finished the game off with 36 or 37 points, and we
Wow.
still lost the game. And that's the game that we had to play a game against Enver, and we lost to them, and our season was over just like that. In 2 games, we were expecting to go win Selfishness that year and go to Provincials. We played bad as a team 2 games back to back. We were up 4 against Richmond in a minute left, and we had an offensive foul. They got the ball. They hit free throw, stop the time. They hit a clutch 3, take the game into overtime. Me and my senior that year fouled out. And we just remember that locker room feeling, just crying. I remember we lost to Enver Creek. Sidetrack, best rivalry in BC goes to Enver Creek and Matheson. The past 4 years have been crazy. And when we lost to Enver Creek last year, we were all just sad in the locker room. What really got it was our assistant coach Sandhu's brother. He came, he put his hand on our senior shoulder, and he's like, "This man right here, he's the one who brought the program together." And then you just see our senior's eyes just get teary-eyed. He starts bawling, and that's how you know it was really over, because he really gave it all to the program to never see provincials ever. So that's what we had on our shoulder. We had a chip on our shoulder to take the team, and that's why I wear number 2 now, because he was wearing number 2, and I'm going to do it for him, and I'm doing it for the rest of the seniors, and I'm going to get this job done. And you know what? He came to all of our provincials games. His name is Jaiden Shergill, is my senior. And we did it. We did it for him and the rest of the seniors that never got to see provincials. So, a really blessed experience. And he said to us he was so proud that, we got to that level, because they never did, and they were happy for us. We had grads from 2007 just coming up to us in provincials saying, "We're here for you guys because you guys put Matheson on the map, and Matheson might not ever do that ever again. And you guys are the first team that ever took a team to provincials and brought banners home for basketball." And they were coming out. They have like family, they have kids. Like, it really shows how the community really comes together.
Yeah, well, that's good. That's excellent. So it was Ellie Matheson's first time at the provincials.
Yeah, it was.
Okay, so you guys and Sailors first times there the same year. That's
Oh
cool.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
first time.
You guys got a little bit further. Maybe we'll get there next year.
Yeah, 100%. You guys are looking really good next year. You guys are so young. Bunch of grade 11s.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are good,
Yeah.
man.
So I know you're in grade 11, obviously, but what do you have for your future plans? Like, if you could manifest where you're going to be after grade 12, what's that going to look like for you?
Just hopefully get my university paid for by a U Sport or a higher tier school. And just keep enjoying what I do, because I have the blessing of doing what I love to do. And I know the basketball is gonna stop bouncing eventually, but I just want to get into a path where I love what I'm doing, and just being successful out of that. And also I want to be an Indo hoop star.
Oh, okay. Right on. Wherever you end up going, whether it's U Sport or down into the US or whatever, is there a school direction you want to go? Like, is there something that you want for your education?
I want to go into business or nursing.
Okay. Good for you.
Thank you.
Oh, that's me, man. It wasn't highlighted. My fault. Hey, if you could pick any NBA or WNBA player to mentor you for 1 week, think about this deeply. Who would it be and why?
Probably Andrew Nemhard.
Why's that?
His shoulder bump is so good. Like, he doesn't do a Peyton Pritchard or Shea do. They extend all the way. But he uses his shoulder and gets to a spot. He's shifty, and he's good. Like, Andrew Nemhard's one of my go-to players to watch film on. And yeah, like, I think, and he's from Canada too, so something that learn from him, learn from a fellow Canadian.
You've had a lot of questions, or a lot of questions we've asked. You've had some answers that are just like that. So a lot of the higher end basketball players that I talk to, one of the questions I'll ask is, when you think of yourself, like Jaden, not the LA Matheson team, Mustangs, just you, like, what's a basketball memory that comes to you? Not making the provincials. If you remember a play that you did, or a shot that you did, or a drive, or a dish, like, what's something that comes to your mind? I would say, what's your favorite basketball memory of Jaden?
We're at VC, and I catch the ball, so we catch a ball for inbound, and I think we're up by like a couple points, and I was just feeling it, and I just shot it close to the red line or like behind the red. I have the clip on my phone. Like I think I can pull it up.
That's good.
And
Send it to us. We'll include it in this.
yeah, it was crazy. It was pretty far, and I just shot it. Why not just let it fly? I shot it. It went in, and I looked back at Tyler, my head coach, and whenever I shoot these ridiculous shots, he'll throw his hands up. Like there's clips of him throwing his hands up. Like how Steve Kerr, when Steph Curry chucks some like wild stuff up, he's like this, is ready to yell at me. When it falls, he just looks at the bench, says something, and then we proceed to. And this is one of my fondest memories. And I'm really hoping if I could pull it up right now. It's pretty funny.
Like I said, if you could send a link to Henry or myself when we edit this, we'll include it in there.
Perfect.
But yeah, no, I mean, as coaches, Henry, your first year coaching as well, I'm sure there's been a lot of times where we throw our hands up in the air and then they score the bucket. What do you do?
Yeah,
Can't say
I have the
anything,
clip
no.
right here. I'll send it in. But yeah, it's cool.
Okay.
Just I have
What
a bunch
are
of.
your plans?
Oh, sorry.
Sorry? No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just like, a bunch of shots that like, are ridiculous, and then when they go in, you just look back at Tyler and see his reaction to the funniest things.
Yeah. What are your plans coming up for spring summer, basketball-wise?
I don't know yet. I'm still deciding on what I want to do. I just want to get better at basketball. That's the goal. However I do it, just get better. Go to ID camps. Hopefully, like if any coaches reach out to me and go to some ID camps. I have some coming up, and yeah, I'm just blessed that coaches want to take the opportunity on me. And I'm like, just go ball out. I really want to go play BC team again this year. I want to be a part of that atmosphere where I go represent something that's bigger than me. And yeah, just representing British Columbia again at the Nationals. This is something I really want to do. So hopefully we can get that done.
Well, good for you. I mean, I remember a couple of years ago, not this season, not last season, the season before, I was coaching the senior boys team. And after the game, I was talking to the guys. I'm not looking forward to playing you guys next year. And it just happened that I dropped down and coached the junior team, and you guys were killing it. And then coming up this year, oh man, like Matheson, where'd this come from? But you guys have been building it for a couple of years, and who knows what's going to happen next year.
Yeah.
It's not a guaranteed win night anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Henry, you take this one, but we're just gonna wrap it up, man. Like we got 29 minutes so far. We appreciate your time. So this is our 8 quick hitter question.
Let's go.
Segment.
Let's go. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Favorite sport to watch as a fan?
Basketball.
Okay. Favorite basketball experience?
Provincials finals.
Okay. Pre-game meal?
Whatever. Like whatever is I eat.
Favorite movie?
Probably one of the Hangovers. The Hangovers are really good.
Favorite musician?
My favorite musician right now, G Crazy. Shout out G Crazy, GTS.
Dream job?
Some business owner.
Favorite superhero?
Spider-Man.
Okay. Think about this deeply now. GOAT. Jordan, LeBron, or someone else?
GOAT has to be LeBron. Yeah, GOAT has to be LeBron.
Yeah. Tom, he crushed the scale. He killed it.
I thought we'd end up this episode on a good note, but you took LeBron, so hey, everyone's got their opinion, right? That's why it's a debated question over and over and over again.
I love it, man.
Really appreciate your time and coming on the show. And honestly, I'm glad that you're not a grade 12 graduating, so we get to see you again. Because
hopefully we get to see you guys.
Sweet game. Yeah, you got a pretty sweet game, and it's fun to watch and compete against you. So
thank you so much.
Good on you, and look forward to seeing you next year.
Really appreciate you guys. Sorry for butchering the start, by the way. I didn't even know. I was like...
Nah, it's all good. That's why we got editing skills. That's why we edit.
That's right.
Perfect. Okay. Perfect. Thank you guys so much for having me.
So yeah, we'll say goodbye for now, and then we'll get it up in a couple of weeks. And
Perfect.
again, thank you so much for being part of this, and tell all your friends.
Yeah, of course. Thank
Yeah,
you so
no.
much.
Okay,
Bye.
thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Okay,
Bye.
see you.
Bye.